Thank you, President. I rise to speak about a petition that I was pleased to sponsor yesterday that was put to the House about the destruction of a plague of Corellas and the damage that that is causing to the Bridgewater community. I had 497 signatures and locals certainly put the word out about that petition. It was in the Bridgewater bakery, but I was invited to visit Bridgewater and meet with local residents and learn more about the impact, and I can tell you it's had a huge impact on their community. If you can imagine thousands of Corellas screeching every single day, day after day, you may get an insight into what it's like to live with a plague of destructive Corellas on your doorstep. I heard from local residents that are trying to build houses in the region, and they are being pulled apart by these birds. The new housing estate, it's at risk of delays and additional costs. Had people purchased property, they hadn't actually visited the region in recent times. They just had memories of it from earlier in their childhood, and they made the investment, but then they were shocked when they moved and actually found these destructive Corellas there. I know that the river gums, the stunning river gums along the banks of the Loddon there have absolutely been decimated. The leaves have been removed. Every tree has been host to hundreds of Corellas, tree by tree. Now, I spoke to a gentleman who works in Bridgewater and has a fan that goes every single day just to drown out the screeching noise that's there. We know that the Corellas have caused damage to the power lines, to the lights in the street there, and so the list goes on. Local tourists are certainly, the tourism industry there, we've got the beautiful Bridgewater Caravan Park is at risk because if tourists come to the region and know that there's constant screeching, they certainly don't want to return. Now, this is something that has been having a huge impact on the mental health of residents, and this is an area that's actually been devastated by floods in recent years as well. So it is very disappointing that they've had very little support to address this issue. Now, Corellas, we know, have been a problem there since 2011. The community tried to manage it themselves. It made hardly any dent on the problem, and we know from previous patterns that they will return. It's just a matter of time. Although they've left currently, they will certainly be back. And we know that Corellas have had a big impact on areas of Kilmore, places like Axedale. We know golf courses have been chewed up. Now, the Victorian Corella strategy was released last year, and it's a bit disappointing when you look at it because it's not very clear what the approved methods are to actually manage these and how to help communities navigate this very difficult issue. Some of the methods that are talked about are a scaring program, Corella proofing infrastructure, relocating food sources, doing decoy food sources, doing screens around tennis courts or bowling greens, and visual barriers. But these visual barriers certainly don't work when you're doing broadacre cropping. So it's interesting to note the Corella grant program has closed earlier this year, but it doesn't actually permit lethal control mechanisms. So it says they will not be supported. So I'm certainly keen. I know Martha Haylett, the local member there in Ripon, is aware of this issue, and I really appreciate the work that the local residents have done in trying to raise the concerns about this issue, and they really rely on the state government support because this issue is far bigger than something they can manage by themselves. So I congratulate the local community for raising the matter. Thank you.